Yo, what's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Sorry I'm a little late here. Had to drive my girlfriend to an appointment at the very last minute, so kind of threw off my afternoon. What's up? What's up? What's up, SZ? What's up, Aditya? You the man, man. No, you the man, bro. Brian NG Nagu. How do you say your last name? What exactly is PA technical analysis from your videos? OBs, fibs, market structure, support, and resistance are used, but are there other concepts? Are there other ideas that make up PA technical analysis? What you've listed there is the majority of what I use to trade. So the way that I define PA is it's just price action. So it's using what's on the price chart, no indicators, anything like that. Whether that's support and resistance to you, whether it's Fibonacci's, patterns, whatever, as long as it's price action that you're looking at, that would be my answer. But yeah, those things you listed are the majority of what I do to trade. What's up, M5? What's up, Dixie Normus? Good to see you again. Julie, how you doing? Alessandro, what's up? Jonah, what's up? Throw on some Metallica. I can't put on Metallica, man. My last video got copyright claimed immediately after posting because of that Metallica. These lo-fi beats are fire. Thanks, bro. I really am digging the lo-fi these days. What I like to do is when I'm just trading and just marking up the charts and stuff, I just like to throw on the lo-fi beats and just give her. Alessandro's having audio issues. What's up, Kareem? You the man. 1.01% of F's entire supply is now locked in deposit contract after 7 days of being live. Okay. Am I the only one having audio issues? Sam, where are you? You are in Ethereum and chill with Trader Main. I know everyone is bullish, but fear and greed index is at all-time high. Extreme greed. Dude, is De Medici dead? I don't know. I haven't heard from him since he started eating raw meat, so maybe. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully he's okay. Okay. Can everyone hear me all right? Is the audio okay? All right. So let's get going here. Welcome back to another Sunday Ethereum and Chill stream with Trader Main. As usual, these streams are sponsored by Prime XBT. So shout out to Prime XBT. Really appreciate all the support they've given me over these last handful of months here, sponsoring me to do these videos. It's a great exchange. I highly recommend you guys check it out. There is a link in the description. You can trade commodities on there with me, metals. You can trade crypto, obviously. You can also trade some equities. It's a good exchange, and you get a 50% deposit bonus. So if you deposit 1 Bitcoin, you actually get 0.5 Bitcoin to trade with extra. Check it out. Use the link in the description. Use code MAIN50 to take advantage of that. Show them some love. They're hooking it up, allowing me to do these things for you guys. So show them some love. I'd really appreciate it. Obviously, everything in these videos, none of it constitutes financial advice. You guys already know that, but I gotta say it. Always do your own research when it comes to investing, right? There's lots of risks involved, and I'm just a random robot bird on the internet at the end of the day, so take everything I say with a grain of salt, right? All right, so what's kind of come of these streams? Originally, they were just Ethereum and chill, then they became Ethereum and Bitcoin and chill, and then they just became, let's just talk about everything. I think our last video on Sunday of last week was 2 hours long. Not sure I'm going to do 2 hours this go around, but I'm more than happy to cover Ethereum, cover Bitcoin, and then cover any other charts that you guys want to go over. So with that being said, let's start with the big boys. Let's start with Bitcoin. Let's start with Ethereum. see where we're at relative to our last video, and then just kind of see what my expectations are in terms of price. And I think what's really cool about these videos is what I try and do is I try and leave the charts the exact same. That way you can see price develop and interact with the levels that I've laid out, right? So it's not just me doing a new chart every time and being like, oh, well, see how price stopped there? It's like, this level was here in the last video. This level was here in the last video. So you can actually see, okay, I actually now have the levels I'm interested in. How can I go in and then execute at those levels? So I did a video I did a video yesterday, just a quick top-down analysis video on Bitcoin. Hopefully that was kind of helpful. I was just feeling like putting something up. Seems like it got some good responses. So we'll go over kind of, that's this chart, right? I live marked up this chart, which I've had on Twitter as well. So we'll start with Bitcoin. We obviously have a pretty key weekly close coming here. And the reason it is key is I'm going to just delete all these levels for 1 second and just mark one. Boom. Okay. So we have a weekly close in about 15 minutes. This level here, 19,287.5, is the highest weekly close Bitcoin has ever had. Okay. Highest weekly close Bitcoin has ever had. If we are able to close this candle in 15 minutes above that level, I think that's pretty darn bullish. And I expect that we'll probably see continuation to the upside. If we close below, kind of like we did on this candle, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we have a move down this week, maybe take out this low here. We didn't really spend a lot of time trading down last week. But this is super key. So this is going to be a level that we're watching. We are going to see the weekly close live on stream. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. And then from there, we can kind of decide, okay, well, what is the plan, right? So in that DeFi, or that lo-fi, not DeFi, in that lo-fi analysis video, I basically explained how I got all of these levels, and then I laid out several trade setups based on these levels. The first one that I think we're going to encounter is going to be this one, right? So I had one set up. I ended up refining this level down here, okay, on the H4. We're into this order block right now. We had a little rejection last night, right? So we had a little rejection last night, and I even went down to the hourly, right? And I had marked out this. And I said, if we come down here, right, this is a long. We didn't quite come down that far. Came close. We were about, $60-$70 away from the level. But going back to the H4 real quick, I marked this as kind of, near-term resistance. This is our FTA, whatever you want to call it. And so you can see this was last night right here. When I recorded that video, we put in that wick right there. So just that alone, this is what's so beautiful and cool about price action to me. This is a weekly level, this 19,287.5 from 3 years ago, right? And we're seeing price come up into that level, reject and close below, and then actually have a little reaction there. To me, that's awesome. So what you can see here, right, is we came into the level, rejected, and boom, we came right into this bullish H4 order block here. Nice reaction, and now we're moving up. So if you didn't long this, right, and I didn't long this, so I'm not trying to say how do you miss this, right, but I didn't long this personally. Right, but let's say, you longed into this order block here. Delete this for a sec. You logged into this order block here. Okay, you can pull your fib, right into the just shy of the 0.62. So if you didn't long this order block here, what I would be looking to do now is if we close the weekly, again, through this level, and we close it bullishly through this candle, I'm looking to get long on any sort of pullback here, right? So this is going to be the first area that I'm watching right here. So if we close strong and we come back, this is just an SR flip entry, right? You have a little stop run there, right? You have another little stop run right here. So this low should be protected. If we close strong and come back, this low shouldn't get run, in my opinion. So that would be a good place to put your risk, or you could put your risk right at the edge of the order block, right? And then we're just below all-time high. So where do you target? And that's what I brought out the regular fib yesterday, right? And I said, okay, well, of this entire move, right, from here, excuse me, from here to here, okay, we have our 1.618 extension here, and then we have our symmetrical price swing, which is all that means is if you take the length of this price swing, stack it on top of itself, you'll get the 1-to-1, right? So I'll just show you that here real quick as well. Right, and there's your 1-to-1 price swing. Right, because we don't have targets, right? We don't have targets, but the Fibonacci is a measuring tool, right? So anytime everyone, people will ask me like, what is it about the sweet spot? What is it about this, that, and the other thing? There's an aspect to Fibonacci and the golden ratio that is definitely, a little bit, what's the word I'm thinking of here? A little bit, I can't think of the fucking word right now. A good word to describe it. Like a little bit scientific, I guess you could say, but at the same time, a little bit, voodoo, whatever you want to call it, right? I mean, at the end of the day, the universe is mathematic, right? Mathematical in its nature. Numbers kind of rule the universe. There's formulas, calculations to form everything. And this Fibonacci sequence of numbers, the golden ratio, the Fibonacci spiral, is something that you see all over the universe, right? It's, the inside of your ear. It's also the inside of a shell. It's the length and distance of, the bones in your fingers relative to the bones in your arm. It's in your DNA. It's all over nature, right? It's the fractal aspect of the universe. I'm all about that shit. That kind of, a little bit sci-fi, a little bit like, is it science or is it kind of quasi-science? I'm all about that shit. So I do think that that's relative in markets, but what you'll also just find is the markets move mathematically, right? They move in waves, they move mathematically, and that those waves, those movements can be calculated and measured and then used to make predictions, projections. So there is value in something like Elliott Wave. I don't personally use Elliott Wave, but there is value in Elliott Wave in that the market moves mathematically and it moves in waves. And so you can use the Fibonacci tool like a ruler to measure shit, right? And what you'll find in price is price likes to, extend in standard deviations of previous waves. That would be kind of your 1-to-1, your 1 to 1.618, and as well as it likes to retrace in those areas as well, the 0.382, the 0.5, the 0.618, the 0.786. So the Fibonacci is just a measuring tool, right? There is that kind of mystical aspect to it, but at the end of the day, it's a measuring tool and it can be used to measure price swings. And so a common thing to do like this, where we don't have price action, is say, okay, well, if price moved from here to here, okay, in this wave, if I stack that on top of itself, right, it will take me to the 1-to-1 extension, right? So instead of just saying, okay, well, what's this wave times 2, I can use the Fibonacci and say, well, what would be a price swing symmetrical to this last one, right? And this works all the time in trading. You can take a price swing like this. Well, hold on, let's just delete everything for clarity here. You could take a price swing like this, right? And then right from this wave, where to go to? Right to the 1-to-1. Obviously went a little bit higher, but you can see that these levels are relevant, right? And if I were to put the other fib on, the 0.618 is going to be in here somewhere as well. So you can use this once we get beyond all-time high to start saying, okay, well, how high is price going to go? What's an area of interest for me? And it goes both directions, right? And it works both ways. Retracements too, I talk about this all the time, right? You have where's your price retrace to, right to that kind of sweet spot. So it's just a measuring tool. That's what I mainly use Fibonacci for. It's a measuring tool. So that whole long diatribe is exactly how I'm explaining these two levels here, right? This would just be a 1.618 extension, and this would be a 1-to-1 symmetrical price swing. So if we are indeed about to break out, those would be areas where I would say, okay, I think we can target here, and that also gives us an ability to, set our risk and define, where our target is going to be versus, our entry, and consequently where our risk is, right? So if my stop is here, does it make sense to take a trade, right, from here? If my stop is going to be there, well, sure, right? If I'm going just to the 1.1618, you've got a very nice breakout trade. You could even have your stop all the way down here, and you still got a very nice trade. Still, a very nice trade. So if we close the weekly in 6 minutes, how we're trending to close right now, I'm essentially going to be looking for, first, I need to see a break in market structure. So we're not completely out of the woods yet, because right now this is still technically got potential for a lower high. Because if we reject here, right, and then take out these lows, this is a lower high, and this is a lower high, right? But if we can take out this high here, right, then all I'm doing is I'm looking to buy back into this box here, and I'm looking along this to here. So that's kind of the plan for Bitcoin. If this fails, and if we break down, I do think that we will go much lower. So for some reason this fakes out, it closes ugly, or it comes up like this and then just gets rejected super hard. I think if we get back below this kind of 18,725 level, you can look for a short down into kind of the low 17,000s. That would be kind of my plan on Bitcoin right now, but I'm leaning towards up, right? If you just look at this on the H4, right? This looks like it wants to break out. Okay, so this looks like it's ready to break out, and it's kind of on the precipice of doing so. So it's just a matter of time, right? Kind of in a range here. Once it breaks out of this range, like it's gonna rip. Could even just argue that this is it here. This is the more near-term price action. So to me, it looks like it's gonna break out, but if we somehow reject, right, because this can happen, right? It can do this. So be aware, right? Just because it closes outside of the triangle, it doesn't mean it's broken out. But it looks pretty good right now. I won't lie. So if it could take out this high, right? Close bullish, take out, come on. Take out this high, right? I'm looking along a pullback, hopefully here, okay? Targeting that 1.168 extension and ultimately a symmetrical price swing. And all-time high, obviously. Very exciting. All right, does that make sense? AR says, I know everyone is bullish, but fear and greed index is at all-time high. Extreme greed. We're at all-time high as well in price, right? So I do think we will correct soon, right? But at the end of the day, that fear and greed index is going to be throttled the entire time during the bull market, right? Except for on big drops, it's always going to be throttled because everyone is greedy. That's what makes the bull market, right? That's what makes that parabolic price action. So that greed index is not enough to make a trade. That could be a piece of confluence you have along with price action, but it's not enough on its own. Thoughts on XRP? I'll look at XRP. Audio is fine. Good. My Wi-Fi sucks right now. What's up, Sammer? Daniel, what's up? What's up, Red Hot Chili Paper? Interesting name. I have no audio issue. My only issues are overexposure. Well, if you're exposed to the long side, you should be stoked. What can you recommend other than watching you for learning price action? Any webinar or book? I've never read a trading book. Actually, that's a lie. I've read Trading in the Zone. But Everyone's always like, books. What books should I read? Here's how you learn price action. Find some guys who do it that you like. So me, Crypto Cred, Trader SZ is an absolute beast. ICT's videos, Tom Dante, shit like that. Find those, people. They have tons of free content. Trader SZ has a group that you can join and learn. Most of the people you see on crypto Twitter using ranges, learn that from Trader SZ in his group. So if you like how they trade, go learn from the source. And then spend time in the charts. That would be my suggestion. That lo-fi video was great. Def, more of those. Thanks, bro. Is trading triangle breakouts regarded? Because it looks like BTC just broke out of its triangle. Hopefully I just answered that question for you. Bless you. Thank you. Mystical. That was a good word. Fundamentals of reality lie within the fib. I agree. Ayo Main. What's up, Wasik? GSQ. What's up, homie? Robert Grant on Instagram. He's a must follow for math. I'll check that out. Hey, Main. Just wanted to say that I love your work, and it has profoundly been profoundly. I'm dyslexic. Been profoundly helpful to me personally. Keep doing what you're doing. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, Sweet. I really appreciate that message. That's very kind of you to say. If anything, if I can help anyone on their trading journey, that makes all of this more than worthwhile. Let's get this video up to 100 likes. Thanks, homie. Just liked it. I liked it before he even started talking. My man, how do you choose where to put those fancy gray boxes? So those are called order blocks. There's rules about how I do them. Very quick summary. For a bullish order block, it's the last down candle before an up move. For a bearish order block, it's the last up candle before a down move. There, I've just saved you 12 months of ICT's membership. All right, we just had the highest weekly close ever on Bitcoin. Highest weekly close ever on Bitcoin. Should I tweet it? I'm going to tweet it. Boom. Give me dopamine, baby. Watch this thing just fucking rip now. So that's a good looking close. Fuck off with your fucking lines. That's a good looking close, I think, for the bulls, right? So if we can now come out and take out this high, right? If we can do one of these, that's going to look awesome. That's going to be a big time long. Okay. Hello, what's up, Frankie? If you use candle closes on H4, is that a descending triangle instead of a pennant? How do you choose where to draw the lines? I don't know, bro. I don't use patterns when I trade. I just threw on a couple lines there and it looked like a triangle to me. I don't know the differences really between pennants and triangles and wedges and shit like that. Just focus on market structure, right? If we take out this high, we've made a higher high and a higher low. Market structure is bullish. Look for longs. Don't overcomplicate it. Hey, 142 watching, only 26 likes. Yeah, we got to pump up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers, guys. Main, what do you think about PA trading being different for Forex and crypto? Crypto always in some trends while Forex pairs are mostly ranging. I see this comment all the time and I completely disagree. Crypto goes sideways for months at a time and people don't seem to realize like does this look like something that's any different than a crypto chart, right? Like this is a huge uptrend here. This is a range, right? This is a trend right here. This is the 4-hour chart. Are you telling me you can't identify a downtrend here, right? Or this entire area being a downtrend, right? So Forex ranges, it trends. I prefer to do PA in Forex. I think it's cleaner for the most part than it is in crypto. So I think PA trading works great in Forex and it works great in crypto. To me, you don't know. If I took off the label here and I just showed you this chart and took off the price thing here so you couldn't see, you don't know if this is a Forex chart or a crypto chart. You don't, right? It's all the same. It's all price action. It's all just candles. And it works on both. I'm in a short hedge with 20K as a stop loss. Does this make any sense? I mean, personally, I don't think so. I don't know what size you're trading or anything like that, right? But if we do break through all-time high, you're not the only person with a stop at all-time high, right? So there is a chance that you could get slipped or something like that. I don't know. But to me, being short here is really scary. I would rather short some sort of breakdown, right? Like if you get some sort of breakdown, then you have your risk defined there, as opposed to just having your stop at all-time high where it might shoot past and you get a shitty fill. Hi mate, I've been watching your channel for ages. Question, can you check out ORN please? It's been pumping hard on Binance for a while now. Mainnet launched on December 15th. I'll check ORN in a bit. I'm going to do Ethereum next. MicroStrategy bought Bitcoin and you short. I don't think MicroStrategy cares where they're buying Bitcoin. Right, so I mean, it's the institutions have been buying Bitcoin since it was 4K. Don't use that as a reason to base your trades on. But yeah, I think shorting up here, I would rather wait for a bearish setup than just be shorting because we're at all-time high, right? Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back to charting F, and I'll get back to the chat and answer some questions here because the chat's popping off. All right, so yeah, looks good. Good weekly close here on Bitcoin. I like it. Let's see how the rest of Sunday and Monday shapes up. One of the things that I find in most markets is you'll often see the low or the high of the week set early in the week. Not always, but a lot of the time. So if this is going to be a bullish week on Bitcoin, there's a good chance we see the low or the high of the week, the low of the week get set early in the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Maybe even in Wednesday. So that's what we'll be watching for, right? Because now you have your weekly open level. Remember, I've talked about this in previous videos. If that's my weekly open, if we trade up like this on Monday, and then Tuesday we do this, and then on Wednesday we're back here, that's probably the low of the week. There's your risk. Get long the rest of the week and ride that son of a bitch higher, right? That would be ideal power of 3 setup, right? Trading here Sunday, Monday, low of the week on Tuesday, regain the weekly open, long the shit out of it right into our support, right? Weekly open support. Look, notice how the weekly open is now right at an SR flip as well potentially, and then you long that mother to the moon, and then we're all going to be rich. We're all going to make it. We're all going to make it. All right, let's talk about Ethereum. So Ethereum doesn't look as bullish as Bitcoin. For one, Bitcoin is at all-time high. Ethereum is about 50% of the way, right? So if you're looking for the laggard between those two markets, right? It's obviously Ethereum, right? Bitcoin is trading up here. Ethereum is still trading way down here. So I do think that in terms of percent gain in this next leg and in the bull run in general, Ethereum has more upside. That being said, there's always going to be more risk, right? Because for Bitcoin to go from 20,000 to 18,000 is like a 2% move or whatever the fuck it is, a 5% move. Whereas if Ethereum's going from 500 to 400, that's a much bigger move. That's a 10% move. And so it's there with these altcoins, right? There's inherent leverage, right? So whenever I see people trade altcoins with leverage, I'm always like, I'm not saying I don't, I do, because I'm a degenerate. But you have to keep in mind, right? All of these altcoin tokens are derivatives of Bitcoin. They inherently are leveraged products in and of themselves because they are leveraged against Bitcoin. So they're that much more volatile, and just because there's more upside potential, that goes both ways. There's more downside potential on these coins as well. So you got to be careful. But in terms of like what's going to make a bigger move next, it's going to be Ethereum. Ethereum is going to make a bigger move than Bitcoin, just in terms of percent gain. Absolutely, in my opinion. So Ethereum analysis has not changed, right? Key level of 570 and 620, that comes from right here. The analysis has remained the same for ages now, right? We SFP'd that level. You can see how relevant that 620 level is here, right? 1, 2, 3 attempts at the level, all have failed, right? So if this thing's gonna go down, it needs to go down like immediately, because I do not think that we get knocked down by this level again. I initially took my short based on this, right? We rejected, came back into the level, printed a fat swing failure pattern here, came back up. This was my initial short that I have posted on Twitter, right? Wrote it down into support, right? Take some profits at support. We're in an uptrend, right? When you're in an uptrend, any shorts you take, you want to be quick and nimble, right? Shorting, take profit at support. Don't be afraid to cut it, flip your bias, right? In the uptrend, right, the longs are the higher probability move. So came into support, you expect support to hold, and as you can see, what forms at our key level of 570? An order block. Where is it? Support, support, support. So both of these levels have been tested 3 times now. So I'm of the mindset that whichever way this breaks is going to be the last time that we interact with one of these levels, at least for a little while. So if Bitcoin remains bullish and pushes higher, I don't expect 620 to hold again. If Bitcoin rips, turns around, dumps, and this dumps, I actually expect this level to give out, and I expect us to trade much lower. So still effectively in a range here, but I do think that we are ready to break out of one of these levels. And whether that's the upside or the downside one is the question. I think if we break above 620, we're going to go to 800. Okay, that $800 level comes from here. The other level that I like, the only other level that I like before 800 possibly is right here. Take it from here. About 750. But regardless, I think if we get above 620 here, we're going to move to here we're going to move up to here quite quickly. Okay? So that's my thoughts on that. If we show bearishness, right? So if we come down, for some reason, Bitcoin just absolutely nukes, right? It absolutely nukes. I think you short the underside of this level here and you target like way down fucking here. Okay, you can target for sure here, but ultimately I think we'll even come lower than there. But to me, that seems like a pretty safe bet, right? So I'll zoom back in here in 1 sec. I'll show you. Okay. If we lose this 570 area, I think you get short and you target 470, right? So I think you can get short here, right? I think we'll trade all the way down here and probably even lower personally. But if Bitcoin is going to go back to about 17.2, right? So if Bitcoin for some reason rejects and goes back to 17.2, that would be like Ethereum going back here to kind of 490 to 500. So pretty straightforward. I think we're in a range. Once one of these levels breaks, I think we're going to see an expansive move in either direction. If we get above 620, I think we're going to trade towards 800. If we lose 570, I think we're going to trade back into the 400s. So place your bets. I'm leaning on up for now, but if we are to break down, right, there's your reasoning. So here's that SFP level here, right? This is technically in a downtrend, right? We did run this low here, but we came to support. This is technically a downtrend here, right? So as long as we stay below here, an argument can be made, that this is not going up, right? But as soon as we get above here, right, I think we're gonna launch. So interesting area for Ethereum right now. I think if it loses this low here, right, because this, to me, this run of this low, this now has to make a new high above here. If it fails to make a new high above here, I think we're gonna break down and come way back down here. Right, so ran that low, ran this low. Let's see if this can make a new high. Just like Bitcoin has to make a higher high, right? Has to make a higher high before you get your too excited, but it looks good for now. I mean, again, I think this is kind of more in the middle of nowhere. There's no trade for me right here. I would either want to see like some sort of breakdown. So this rejects, let's say. Okay, breakdown here, then breakdown here. Those would be kind of short triggers. Or make the higher high, long trigger, right, for much higher. But I'm not taking a trade right here. Just like on Bitcoin, I'm not just going to long this. I want to see actual, price action, tell me what to do. Give me a clue. Let's see some movement. Again, want to see us take out this high on Bitcoin before I just blind long this thing, right? So Ethereum, let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here and then kind of make our decision. But I mean, I've had these levels marked on the charts for almost a month now, and we've just been kind of pinging, back and forth, right? So let's wait to see where we go. But I do think if we get a break above 620, that's going to be the nail in the coffin for this range, and we're going to see $800 Ethereum relatively quickly. J-Rod says, any golden rules for trading psychology? Don't be a bitch. Have big nuts. I mean, I think the best way to develop your trading psychology, skills is to actually trade, right? The one thing you'll never get backtesting or trading on a demo account is the feeling of having actual money on the line, right? So you have your trade in, your stop is there, and if you get stopped out, you lose actual money, whether that's $100 or $1,000, right? It doesn't matter. It's real money. So as much as I'm like a proponent of practicing, right, demo, backtest, forward test, all that BS, nothing will replace the feeling of actually having money on the line in a trade. So definitely something you want to kind of experience, and then journal, right? When you're actually in a trade and it's not going your way, write down how you feel, right? So you can learn to identify those emotions, because you have to be as emotionless as possible in this game. When you put a trade in, right, that money is out of your account. In my mind, that money is gone, and it's either coming back worth double or I'm losing it and it's gone. There's no in between, right? That's how I started when I learned. So it's like I'm either getting stopped out for 1R or it's coming back at 2R or 3R or whatever. So you got to have that mindset where it's the money is out of your account, it's on the line, and then start realizing how you feel, right? Because if you don't have a plan where it's like, okay, here's where I'm wrong, here's where I'm right, that's when you start feeling FOMO. That's when you start feeling greed and all of those emotions that are gonna fucking up your trade and fucking up your account in the long run. So start risking real money. That will definitely help, kind of build up that psychological aspect. It's just going to take reps, right? You've got to try and be as emotionless as possible. And the way to do that is to have a plan. And then journal, write down how you feel, learn to be kind of in tune with what you're feeling during a trade. If you're feeling freaked out as soon as you put the trade on and it's going against you, you're probably risking too much, or you're not very confident in your idea. So why'd you put money behind it anyways? Right? Like if you're going to post a trade idea on Twitter or whatever, but you're not putting any money behind it, it must be a pretty shit idea, right? Wasik says, thank you, Trader SZ, for being a great teacher, boss. I'm thankful for you and the knowledge you provide. Bro, you're on the wrong stream. Trader SZ stream was yesterday. Come on now. Trader SZ is the legend. He's one of my mentors. Like I said before, if you see anyone on Twitter using ranges, deviations, and there's a lot of them, right? That's the original. That's the OG. Learn from the source. MD says, thanks for taking the time to do this. You're welcome. Hey bro, XLM is looking real good right now. Mind checking it out? Sure. Fabrizio, great fucking content as usual. Love you, man. I love you, Fabrizio. Oi oi. What's up, Danny? Who is it we should follow? Trader X. Trader SZ. Go to his website. I think it's trader1sz.com. Go to his Twitter, traderSZ, SZ for you Americans. I don't know. And click the link in his bio. Sign up to his group. It's absolutely invaluable. You rule, Sam. Highest close depending on the exchange. Sure. Actually, it's not the highest close on this exchange. Shut the fuck up. I'm just kidding. I love you, but come on now. Forget this joke, internet money. Charizard, bro. Charizard. I may have bought the top on Pokemon cards, so I'm not. I don't really want to talk about it until they're pumping again. I might have accidentally bought the top. So here's what you don't do, right? Just like in trading, when everyone is screaming bullishness, usually we dump. Everyone was tweeting about Pokemon cards. Everyone, blah 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 blah, and that's when I buy. So that was FOMO, and that was a mistake. What do you think of Sugma? Is that a real coin, or are you asking me to suck your balls or something? Is that like Ligma? Sugma, that's funny. You're welcome, Red Hot. Yo, bro, who is this ICT guy on Twitter? He's not on Twitter. You can find his videos on YouTube. Just type in the Inner Circle Trader. One question I have. Do you do mentoring after 3 years? I've just reached profitability. I'm also ICT based and have some trades in Edwonk. Could you look at them? Not for free, of course. If you've been trading for 3 years and you're profitable now, that's awesome, dude. That was supposed to be a clap. Like, that's great. I wasn't profitable for my first 2 or 3 years. So congratulations. Your hard work is paying off. That is a totally normal amount of time. So don't think by any means that you're slow. Most of these people on Twitter that you see that are posting shit, none of them are making any fucking money. Just always remember that. I don't do any sort of mentoring. I used to have a group. I no longer have a group. I don't have any kind of paid services right now. If you would like me to look at some of your trades, join my Discord. The link is on my Twitter. In the description of my Twitter, I have a link that you can press with all my socials. Join my Discord, and you can share them there, and I'll take a look at them for free. There's a CMA cap at 3K. Nuke it now. Peter Schiff said double top. Peter Schiff said a lot of things. Lil Main, look at Twitter, Pierre's new post. You'll laugh. Work smart. Can we live trade together? Sure, bro. We send in this to 17.2 or what? Power of 3. This man's been watching Charmed. God, you guys are funny. What's up, Kuba? Okay. I'm going to... I'm going to chart FBTC now, and then I'll come back and I'll take some chart requests. So, FBTC, the question that is the $1 million question, right? The $1 million question here. Is this a high or low? Right? Is this a high or low? So we've come into here. Okay. We've also had this here kind of serve as the bottom, essentially. Right? So, you know, obviously just straight down price action forever. Accumulate here, and we've now pushed up. This is the monthly chart, right? So patience is required. You know, and we've broken market structure, right? So what we're looking for basically on this, right, is this. And if this is a higher low, right, then this is going to fucking send. This is going to send. You want to see alt season? This is alt season. Everyone's like, alt season, alt season. This is not alt season. In my opinion, we have not seen alt season yet. If F does one of these, right, where it just puts in a fat green candle, multiple green weekly or monthly candles in a row, that will be alt season. All alts will just start going ham, right? So that's what you want to see, you know, coming on FBTC here, if this was indeed the bottom. Right, so it looks pretty good to me right now. I mean, just looking at this without even having these little boxes on there, right? You have your accumulation range. You have a swing high here We've broken the swing high, come back, retested the swing high. That looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to zoom in one level here. And my level disappeared. What the fuck is going on? That's weird. Right? So, again, accumulation. Notice on the monthly, okay, on the monthly, this is where we broke market structure. But on the weekly, we broke market structure earlier, right? So the market structure shifts will occur sooner on the low time frame, right? So if we're about to go into a bull trend on the monthly, right, taking out this high, the weekly is already going to be in a bull trend. The daily is already going to be in a bull trend. The H4 is already going to be in a bull trend before the monthly ever flips. But just using those very basic levels there's your monthly swing high SR flip, right? We've put in a very nice higher low here on the weekly. To me, this is about as clean as it gets in terms of a leg, a second leg, and a higher low. So price could see a little bit more sideways here. You know, we've come up basically into this base we've rejected. So we could come back down here. That's totally possible. Basically, though, I don't want to see us lose this low. So as long as we can maintain this low, so we could come down in here, we can go more sideways. As long as we maintain this low, I'm pretty confident that we're going to see an explosive leg up sooner than later on Ethereum. It's just a matter of time. So I think high time frame, this chart looks really good. Could we make a new low and then still go up? Absolutely, right? Like we could come and make one more low down into here, right? So we just barely came shy of this area. We could do this, right? But in my opinion, if we somehow come back into this range, I don't know if we will, but if we somehow come back into this range of 0.021 to 0.025, you long the shit out of Ethereum if given the opportunity. I don't know if we'll come that low, but if we do come that low, you long the shit out of it. The only way I think we would come this low is if Bitcoin absolutely moons, like extremely hard, or if Bitcoin dumps extremely hard. I think if Bitcoin just kind of continues to grind up, this is probably the low. But overall, I think this looks good on the high time frame. I don't think there's anything to worry about. For now, this is the higher low that I'm watching right here. And as long as this holds, regardless if we do one of these first, I am eventually expecting us to take out this high. And then go much higher. Go way the fuck up here. And that's when we're all going to have yachts and boats and super hot girlfriends. Right? So Ethereum BTC looks pretty good to me. On the intraday chart, I don't know. There's not really much here for me to look at in terms of like, okay, am I trying to make like a major high time frame decision based on this chart? I don't think so. I think if you're looking at, looking at the 3-day, this would be kind of an area of interest for me right here. So definitely want to see us get above this area here. You can see we wick through again into the lows here. If we go above here, that low is locked in, right? If we stay below here, maybe we get that situation where we get one more attempt to buy down in the low kind of, 0.02s. But I think this would be an area I want to see us kind of clear in the meantime on ETH-BTC. But overall looks pretty good. And again, Ethereum, same shit here, right? Going sideways. As soon as we clear this level, we're going to $800. Easy peasy. All right. Let's start taking some chart requests, y'all. We will make it and get girlfriends. You're goddamn right. Just don't tell my current girlfriend. What do you think of crypto phase? I have no idea who that is or what that is. Check gains from bottom. Don't know what you mean there, Zoran. 20%. Okay. I thought in crypto we didn't... we don't need institutions. I believe BTC is born with this idea. Power of the people, fuck. And now everyone happy when dirty bankers going in, fuck that. I've always been of the belief, Frankie, that Bitcoin was never going to be successful without large money players getting involved. That's just how the world works, man. It's a nice idea to be like, hey, we're making our own money and fuck the bankers and shit. It was never going to be like that, right? Big money is always going to get in. Smart money is always going to get in and seize control. It is what it is. Just make sure you own some too. I've never been a believer that Bitcoin is going to replace the dollar, right? Like, I think Bitcoin maxis are super fucking cringe. I think BTC is scarce. I think it's a good store of value. I know there are some things being worked on to actually improve the technology, but it's not a method of payment, right? To me, it's a store of value. And the technology, the underlying technology, is super valuable. Blockchain, right? But I never thought it was going to be a big fuck you to the institutions, right? If there's a way for it to make money, guess what? Smart money, big money is going to come in and take advantage of it and manipulate it and take your Bitcoin from you. So don't let them do it. Don't let those dirty bankers steal your Bitcoin. So you're saying I'm in a bad side if I hold Link, Bear, USD, and FTX times 3 leverage? What the fuck? How am I supposed to answer that, bro? Like, what are you talking about? Are you asking if I think being short Link Bear is a bad idea? Jesus Christ, what is this fucking chart? I don't know. If you're short this, it looks like absolute shit. So I think I would actually say that you're in a good trade. I don't fully understand your question, but this looks like shit. I wouldn't want to be long this, so there's your answer. 820, my man. There you go. Can you do dot? Sure, let's do dot. Yeah, so I really like this. I don't know what Polkadot does. I've heard some rumblings from some people who are much smarter than I with altcoins that this is a good coin. So I might as well say now on stream that DOT's probably going to $100. And that's based on zero research at all. So I like DOT above this area. And I know this is a huge area, right? But it's come through. It's now retesting. It looks like it's holding, right? And again, similar to Ethereum, right? There's your break in market structure. Here's your low. Here's your high. Retest the previous high, right? Putting in a potential higher low. So this looks pretty good to me. I like this. I like this setup. I like how price is respecting this level. This looks like an SR flip to me. It also looks like we broke this high, or just about, right? We closed through the bodies. We didn't quite close through the wick. This looks pretty good to me. I think this is a higher low in the making, right? So I would be bullish on DOT based on the high time frame charts. And then if you're zooming in and you're saying, okay, well, how do we get involved in this thing? Here's your roof. Okay, there's where it needs to get through to continue moving up. We've got a nice low swept there, and we've got a little kind of more short-term level right here. So I think I'm bullish on this thing based on the high time frame. So I'm looking for reasons to get long, right? I'm not looking for shorting resistance, but I'm looking to actually get long on SR flips, right? So this would be an area, if we can kind of flip this area, which is about 520 to 527. I think if we can flip that area, that would also make a new market structure high here on the low time frame. This would be a kind of long setup that I would look to you could either have your stop here or your stop at the low here. This would be a kind of long setup that I'd be looking to get into with the expectation that we go to here. This probably gives us a pullback. Again, the pullback is a long opportunity, right, for another leg up. So this looks pretty good to me. I would be looking for reasons to get long on this thing. This is kind of an area that I want to see reclaimed to get along, and even just from here to here. is a 5 or 6% move, right? So not bad. So this looks okay to me. I don't hate this. I think high time frame again, right? This is in an uptrend, right? So you want to be looking for reasons to get long, not reasons to short. We'll look at the BTC pair. This looks substantially shittier. This is definitely in a downtrend. There's your origin, right? So what you want to see on this pair now right, is you want to see this form some sort of low. If it's going to form a low, this could be right where it happens, right? So we've got this kind of origin of this entire move, and we've basically fully retraced it. And then you've got like a falling wedge kind of dealio going here, right? So, I mean, this isn't a 10 out of 10 setup, right? But this is compressing into high time frame demand. The dollar pair looks bullish. So what you want to see here now is like a break in market structure, right? So once this thing breaks out, this would be kind of the breakout area that I'd watch. Once this thing breaks out, maybe it goes a little lower first. If it can break out above that high, I think this could have significant upside. So this is compressing into support. The thing you got to be careful about, right, is guess what? This was a falling wedge too. It broke out and then it just traded down, right? But eventually it will work. We are all the way back into this point of origin from all the way over here. We're now into this demand zone here. So I'm not longing this currently. Like longing this here, I think you got to be prepared to potentially average down and hold in some drawdown, right? If you're buying spot, for example. But if you're looking to get in this in terms of a trade, I would want to see it now shift market structure. So maybe it goes lower, but we need to see a shift of a high for me to be interested in getting involved, because then I do think once this thing breaks out, it can have some room to run. What's your thoughts on the past 6 years being good for Alternate? Surely it's unlike the 6 years previous price action is now going to stop. I don't fully understand that question. Do I think there will be another alt season again? Yes. I don't know if it will be like the previous ones, but generally history often kind of repeats itself in those instances. I don't know if you're going to see the same coins that have always pump, right? But like Ripple's been around since 2013. It's not going anywhere. It will have another market cycle. I don't know how high it will go, but it will. Just play the charts, right? The problem most people are gonna not make it, right? They're gonna lose money, and I know that's like rough to hear and shit. And I don't want to be like this fucking bearer of bad news. I would way rather be the guy who's cheerleading and being like, I don't want to be the guy cheerleading. That came out wrong. But I'd way rather be the guy hyping everyone up. Be like, we're all going to make it homies. We're all going to get girlfriends and shit. When in reality, most of you won't, right? Not you guys particularly, because you guys are watching my stream. So you're good. You'll be allowed in the Citadel. But most people, they're going to make mistake after mistake after mistake. And they're going to lose any money that they make in the bull run. That is the case. Lots of people are going to make fortunes, right? But most of those people... especially if this is your first go round, you're going to give it all back, right? And the reasons you're going to do that, you have zero risk management strategy. When you cut losers, when you take profit on winners, right? You're going to be way too diversified. You do not need to be in 30 or 40 altcoins. There's some fucking absolute clowns, donkeys online who are like, I'm in 40 altcoins and I feel like that's not enough. Those people are stupid as fuck. Do not listen to those people. I guarantee you they're poor and have no idea what they're talking about, and they're probably going to try and sell you something. You have no need to be in that many coins. There are going to be more than 5 coins that pump 100x, right? But you're not going to catch all of them. You're just not. You're better off creating a watch list of a few coins. Maybe DOT is one of them. Maybe you want some DeFi coins, so you have a couple of those. less is more, right? Have a few charts that you're watching that look good. Ideally, they have some sort of fundamentals going for them. As I've said countless times, I do not trade off of fundamentals or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is if the coin has some active dev work going on and there's some fundamental catalyst, there's a better chance that it gets market cycled rather than just some random coin where it's been inactive for years, right? And it can have maybe just a more sustainable uptrend. Focus on less and then really try and nail those calls, right? Having $5,000 spread out against 40 altcoins, in my opinion, is way less likely to work than having, $15,000 spread out against, 5 or 6 coins. So you do not need to be super diversified in all these fucking coins. I know everyone wants to catch 100x. Most people don't have enough money in the 100x for it to be that big of a deal anyways, right? So if you have, if you have $5,000 in 100x, like obviously that's sick if you make 500K off of one trade. But how many, what is the likelihood of that? What is the likelihood that you're going to be the right one? You're going to enter at the right time, exit at the right time? It's very small, right? So you're better off focusing on less. I think one of the main reasons why people get wrecked is they get way too diversified in altcoins, and then Bitcoin shits the bed, and every single one of those things die, and now you're bag holding fucking 20, 30 different altcoins. The other reason is people are going to get extremely greedy and they're going to see their portfolio absolutely rocket, during the bull run, the height of the bull run and the mania, and then they're going to not realize any of those profits, right? They're going to give it all back to the market, buying in the downtrend, not locking in any profit, and they're going to get absolutely fucked. So as much as I want all of us to make it, all of us to make money, yada, 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 be smart, have a plan going into this. Don't look at fucking 50 different coins just because it pumped last time. It doesn't mean it's going to pump again. Less is more. So do I think we will see altcoins cycle again? Absolutely. But remember, 99.9% of these altcoins, their only utility is to take money from you. So keep that in mind when you're looking at them and you're buying them and shit. Be fluid with it. Be ready to fucking cut that shit and sell it. There's no reason you should hold any altcoin down 99% drawdown, and so many people will. It's really sad. Anyways, XRP, sure, we'll go over XRP. Bet more, yes, that's exactly. Mehmet, you are the best, man. I learned so much from your TA. Thanks, bro. Appreciate this, man. May I ask what your average RR is lately? Thanks, J-Rod Legend. Generally, I aim for 2 to 2.5 RR minimum on any sort of Bitcoin or Ethereum leverage trade, and that's what I do in Forex and gold and silver and all that shit as well. Usually, I'm aiming between 2 and 3 risk reward on any given setup. That would be my average. I will usually take profit at my TP level and leave a runner on with like stop at break even to catch potentially more of a move, but that's about the average, between 2 and 3. They're trolling you. You're doing good. Thanks, bro. Wait, you're not American? I am not American. I am Canadian. First EOS, then Pokemons. I know, bro. I've made mistakes. Do you remember LBC? Why don't we just bring up all of my mistakes I've made? Should we talk about all the money I lost in 2014? Of course I remember Library Coin. Fucking the ultimate shit coin. It was supposed to be the new YouTube. XRP, I will go over. Biggest thing for me was trading higher time frames. Absolutely. I think most people would do way better if they just looked at the high time frame charts and did not pay attention to the low time frame at all. How can you recognize that you're a bad trader? I don't know. Are you losing money more than you're making money? That would be one way. Do you not have any idea what you're doing when you get into a trade? If you open up the chart and then you enter a trade, or you don't know why to enter a trade or where you're wrong, or any, those are all signs that you don't know what you're doing and you should be in there, right? When I open up the chart, I know exactly what I'm looking for, and if that exact thing doesn't happen, I don't take a trade, right? So you need to know what you're looking for, know where you're wrong, know where you're right, and then you've kind of got some, pieces of the puzzle together, and then to go and actually make a trade. But if you're just opening the chart and hitting buy or sell and you have no fucking clue why, you're probably a bad trader. That F chart look ugly as fuck. Triple top, swing failure. Yeah, it doesn't look great, I'm still short this, right? So I'm still short here. That's why I'm waiting to long, right? Like unless you longed here, I don't see any reason to be long right here, right? So unless you longed here or here or here, or unless you shorted here, here, or here, there's no trade here. This is like a chop city, no trade zone. I think it's way easier to just wait for us to reclaim that level. Let's say we're going to go to 800, okay? From here to 800 is 30%, right? From here to 800 is 33%. I'm okay missing the first 5% of a move to get in once I know that the move is going to happen. Once we get a high time frame close through there, I'm confident the move is going to happen. I'm way more likely to get in with size than I am from right here where it's a coin flip. Yo, what up, Maxime? The AVE chart is getting to record highs. All I want you to do is tell me what the price of Ethereum will be for the next few weeks. If I knew what the price of Ethereum was going to be a few weeks from now, do you think I'd be here on my Sunday night doing a fucking video for you, bro? I think I've made it very clear. If we can close through 620, the price of Ethereum will be 800 relatively quickly. That's about as close as I can get in terms of a prediction. Offsuit. Awesome. I'll join your Discord, post some charts in there. Looking forward to it. In the meantime, keep on crushing. Thanks again. You're welcome, bro. Thanks for tuning in. Mitch, when will you be taking your shirt off? Eventually. It's too cold here in Canada to go shirtless. Maybe in the summer. RSR.Acor. Okay, we're good. Let's go back to the charts here. I've been answering questions for long enough here. Let's look at XRP. The original shitcoin. So, I mean, XRP broke, a lot of levels here in a resistance, right? So, I mean, this is still the roof. If we clear here, let's start talking about $1, right? I saw a bunch of people being like, XRP to $1. Once we clear here, absolutely, let's talk about going to $1. I think that's completely reasonable. But until then, we're still into resistance here. I'm still not completely convinced that we don't, come back and retest this. So we'll zoom in one level here, right? So what you don't want to see on XRP is this, right? See how this pumped up, right? Gave a second pump here, right? Then trailed down a bit, and then a third pump, and then it completely retraced the move. That's what you don't want to see on XRP if you're bullish, right? And that's kind of what it's looking like right now, right? Huge move up, dumped, came right into daily support here. Right? So that could have been a long. This is a lower high, right? So what XRP needs to do is it needs to take out this high. Because if it fails to take out this high and we do one of these, I'm confident that we will come all the way back down here and maybe even lower. Maybe even way the fuck back down to here. I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure. But this could just turn into an ugly ass market cycle if this fails to take out this high. Because this is Bitcoin. 20K, 17K, 10K, right? All the way back down, fully retrace and move. So you do not want to see that on XRP. So the way to avoid that is it needs to, right? To avoid this, what does this look like? This looks awfully fucking similar, does it not? There's your huge green move. Right? Retrace, big pump again. Never made a new high, right? Another little pump, lower high, and then fully retrace the move. So you do not want to see that if you're an XRP bull. You need to see it. You need to see it make a new high here. It needs to break this high, okay? So if I'm trading this thing, this is what I'm watching right here. Okay? It needs to reclaim this area and then it needs to get above here. So I think if it like this looks like a low, right? Came into here, right? Higher low, it needs to do one of these. And if it can do one of these, then sure, let's start talking about it going towards $1. But as long as it stays below this high, I think it's just as likely that it goes to here as it is that it goes to $1. Right? So I don't think having bids here for a potential, right, is a terrible idea. But I just as likely it goes to here as it does go to $1 right now. Needs to take out this high for it to have continued upside, or else this is going to start looking ugly. So not bearish yet, right? We just broke a bunch of market structure highs and had a huge pump. I'm not bearish, right? But it does need to continue with the bullish market structure. And this is the key level to watch, right? Because if we go down and do this, right, we now have a locked in lower high here and a lower low and then another lower high here, right? And then it looks more likely to me that it's going to start going back down. XRP is the ultimate shitcoin. Never bet against its ability to completely retrace a pump. So maybe this time's different. Needs to get above this 66 level for me to be, bullish on it. More bullish. I mean, it's going up right now. Essentially the exact same price action here on the BTC pair. The one thing that's crazy about XRP, right, is it just fucking looks like absolute shit and then immediately posts a pump. Like, I could understand you averaging in here, throughout the entire time that it's in this block. And then, yeah, you get lucky, right? But again, similar to the dollar pair, right? We're in a resistance here. Big wick through, but ultimately it rejected. Zoom in. Needs to take out this high, right? Needs to get above here for it to have continued upside. Continued upside is way up into here, which is nice. Right? That would be your next target. So lots of room to go further up. Another 30%, but just like my Ethereum analysis, right, needs to get above here to see that up move. And if I'm going to miss from here to here, if I'm going to miss on 10% of the pump, I'm okay with that, because right now there's just as high of a likelihood, in my opinion, that it comes back down here. So longing right here doesn't make any sense on this time frame. If you zoom in, maybe there's some setup on the hourly here that you like, right? This kind of is in a mini uptrend here. But high time frame, like looking at like the H4, the daily and shit, needs to get above here for me to be super interested in continued upside. So that would be my thoughts on XRP. Bitstamp doesn't have DOT. Well, then trade on a different exchange to Bitstamp, bro. Go on Binance. Cup and handle on DOT. Kind of, right? Kind of. Again, I like DOT. I think DOT looks good. I saw someone say, okay, let's just see. All right, I'm going to do AVE, ADA, RSR, VTC, XMR, and I think that will be it. Okay. And I'll do Link. Those are all the ones I'm going to do here, because I don't want this to go on forever. Sure, we can do XLM as well. What up, Crypto Paradigm? How you doing, homie? I'll do XLM. What's a good time is it a good time to buy Ethereum? Go watch the start of the video. I talked about that already. If it gets above 620, long it to 800. I will do Chainlink. Greetings from Venezuela. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Me llamo Trader Main. Your boy's trilingual. Fuck with me. Fiat confetti currency is at 19.5 millions of bolivars. Oh man. I know there's like hyperinflation in Venezuela, right? Communism is bad, kids. Frankie says, are you more of a bearish or bullish trader? I don't know what that means. I'm a trader, right? I'm not bearish or bullish. I just trade whatever the chart tells me. If the chart is bullish, I look for longs. If the chart is bearish, I look for shorts, right? I talk about this all the time. People with crypto, you have this inherent bias of being bullish or bearish because you own a coin or it made you rich once or it pumped one time 100x. Like, so when you're looking at it, you're forcing that bias onto the chart. Eliminate the name of the coin, eliminate the price thing here, and just look at the chart. If the chart is bullish, look for longs. If the chart is bearish, look for shorts. Forget what it is and you'll be much better off. If you own Bitcoin, you inherently always want it to go up. So it's going to be a lot harder to see bearish setups because in your mind, you want it to be bullish, right? So you got to kind of be careful with that terminology. Where are you in Canada? I'm not going to tell you where I live, bro. Don't you think that's kind of a creepy thing to ask? I'm on the West Coast. I'm in BC. I sold my BTCs and MT at the top. Sounds like you're a fucking legend, bro. Well done. Are you making sick money trading? Yes. I make good money trading. We need badass metalhead traders like you. Keep it up. Thanks, bro. Could you check out Perp? What it do, Armus? How you doing, man? Do you think ETH will ever break from this channel? Absolutely, I think it will, right? Above 620, I think it goes to 800. Below 570, I think it goes back to 400s. Is this video available after the live stream? Yes. All my videos are on YouTube. They always stay on YouTube. Fam, I don't see any downside while McDonald's McRib is available. Check out daily returns on SPY correlated while it's out versus now. So this is actually really, really kind of secret alpha that this man just dropped for you here. Whenever McDonald's is selling the McRib, the market's pumped. So do with that what you will with that information. Do you have a spot bags? Do you have spot bags? I don't know what you mean. Well, no, it's not a legend. Well, no, it's not a legend. I fucked up, bro, just so you don't feel bad about Pokemon. Yeah, I hope I didn't buy the top on Pokemon. We'll see. It's yet to be seen. Okay, let's start going through some of these charts. AVE. Again, right? So some people will show me altcoin charts, like, you know, that look like this. Okay? I'm telling you right now, this thing will never go back to all-time high. Ever. This will never, ever, ever go back to all-time high. Does it mean you can't make money on it? Absolutely you can. But there's no way this thing is going back to all-time high. Right? Why would you trade this when there's a chart that looks like this? Right? This looks way more interesting to trade. This is in a clear uptrend and has been for basically the last 2 months. Or whenever it got listed on Binance or whatever, this is in an uptrend. This is a way more interesting coin to trade. That's the problem, right? There's people who own this from here. If you own Library Coin from up here, you will never break even. You will never break even, okay? This will never happen. What is that? 37,000%. That's never happening. It's never going to happen. So why trade something that looks like this when there's so many other coins out there with way better looking charts, right? So AVE looks pretty good to me. Very clearly in an uptrend, right? Clearly in an uptrend. The question is where's the next higher low form? Just looking at the 12-hour chart here, I'd pull my fib from there to there. This is the first level that jumps out at me as a potential area that we might retrace to. Ultimately, we could come down here. I don't know if we will, but both of these would be buy the dip opportunities if given. So I would have bids there, potentially, might get a fill. It might not, right? This might leg up from here. We do have this, right? So this would be kind of your first area to watch, right? We've come in, we've retested it. So if it can hold this area, no reason why this can't make the next leg up, right? But if it fails to hold this gray, then I'm looking at those two areas that I showed you on the H12, right? I'd be looking here, and I'd be looking here, right? But right now, this looks like a pretty clean SR flip. So here's your previous high, right? So there's your market structure, right? Low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. And what's it do? It comes and retests the previous high. Perfect reaction, right? So this looks pretty good to me. Again, there is support right here at 86. So if it holds this, I think that's good. If it fails to hold this, I'm looking to buy this on a deeper pullback, somewhere in the neighborhood of ideally down here, but it could just come back here one more time. But this looks pretty good. I like this chart. I think it looks good. The BTC pair. Wow. Interesting. So as long as the BTC pair holds above here, right? There's your order block. Ultimately, I think it will go to there. So we could see one more move like this. But I don't hate this. Right? Boom. Right into the level there. Moved away. So this is kind of what I'd be looking at on the BTC pair. That is on the weekly chart. If we zoom into the daily here. What do we got? What do we got? This is a breaker. Right here. So this could be your kind of entry zone on the daily. This is an uptrend. So I would long a pullback into here, right? This low should be in now if this is going to continue higher. So AVE looks good. I like AVE. Let's do Cardano. Yeah, like this looks great to me. God damn it, motherfucker. Like this looks great to me here, right? So we ran this low, okay? Reclaimed. Clear uptrend here now, right? Broke this high, clear uptrend. Came into here, retested this, held it perfectly. The question now is this, right? You've got an SFP here, right into high time frame resistance, right? So good chance, and then this is also resistance right here. But good chance that this has a bit of a pullback. The question is where's the pullback to, okay? So is it gonna pull back deep? Deep pullback would be like this. Okay, a more shallow pullback would be into here. So this is what I'm watching on Cardano right now, right? So we had this like range here, broke out, needs to hold this consolidation essentially, or we're gonna see a deeper pullback, right? Deeper pullback would be way back into here. Not a bad thing, right? I don't think it's bad if it comes back here. I think you would buy more there. But ultimately, if it can hold this gray, I think it will push up again. And that gray just comes from that weekly level right there, right? So as long as it holds this, I think it looks good. If it loses this, right? So I think, holds this, eventually it will go up. If it loses this level, I would look to buy it back into here, right? Because this is in an uptrend, right? So just because it looks like it might potentially pull back here, don't lose sight of the bigger picture. right? The bigger picture is this, is an uptrend forming. All right, so that looks pretty good. We'll look at the Bitcoin pair here. Very similar thoughts, right? Clear uptrend here forming. This would be kind of my key level here, right? Needs to get above here because this is a nice close through, right? But we're now trading back below. You know, came into here, tested, hold that floor, needs to get above here, right? So this could see some sideways, but as soon as it breaks above here, I think this thing's gonna fly. I think there's a very good chance that it goes up to whatever this level is, 0.0000213. That would be kind of my thoughts on the BTC pair. Needs to reclaim this level. As soon as it does, it will rip. RSR. Again, not terrible. So many times you guys come in here and tell me the shittiest coins to look at. These ones aren't so bad. Not terrible. Don't hate it. This is a pretty clear range to me. As soon as we break out of this range, it will likely fly. Go down to the daily. Right? Here's your key level right here that it needs to break, right? So coming into support right here. This is kind of consolidating. Pretty straightforward. Right? This is going to break out soon. You know, if it breaks down, that would be really ugly, but I'm leaning more on this. All right, this is almost essentially the Bitcoin setup. Here's your swing high. Here's your resistance. Break that, retest, that's a long. So this I don't hate either. Consolidating under resistance, nice uptrend forming here, right? Like this is an uptrend. So it just needs to break above here to get really bullish, but I like that it broke out, retested, held support. Now it just needs to kind of come above here. And I think it looks pretty good. RSR BTC. This is where I'd want it to hold here, right here. So again, right, price is consolidating right into support. It's trying to form an uptrend here. It hasn't quite yet formed an uptrend, right? It's got to clear this. But it's made a low, it's pushed up, retest, pushed up, rejected. So this thing looks like it's going to make a move soon, if I had to guess. And I think, you know, this is kind of what I would expect to see. Something like that. Like I think it will move out, maybe get one more rejection, come and retest the move that led to the move up. That is where you long it, and then it will send. But this looks like it's gearing up for a move soon. So this would be definitely one to keep kind of your eyes on, right? Set an alert here, set an alert here, wait for the alert to trigger. And if it triggers this alert, right? If it rejects from the zone, right? We've already had 1, 2. Third test, we'll probably give a shallow retrace. That's your long, right? Or if it just fucking launches through, any sort of pullbacks, your long, obviously. Up into here and then up into there. But like this one looks pretty good as well. VTC. I said this wasn't going to be 2 hours, and here we are 2 hours later. Yeah, this is one of those coins where I'm like, why are you in this? This coin's been around. I remember this coin, Vert coin. Like, there's so many better looking charts than this. Okay, there's so many better looking charts than this. Why would you be trading this? Could this coin pump again? Absolutely. But I imagine this coin is dead from like a development perspective. It's not new. So and there's tons of bag holders, right? With these new coins, there's not nearly as many bag holders when you're in price discovery and shit, right? Imagine you've been holding this coin since 2017. Do you not think any time that there's a pump, you're going to fucking try and sell your bag? Of course you are. So to me, this coin is absolute garbage. It's only traded on BitterX from what I can tell. I wouldn't touch this thing with fucking a 50-foot pole. And the chart looks like shit too. So whoever suggested this, if you have a bag of this, get out, take what money you have left and deploy it into shit that doesn't look like complete garbage. No reason to be long this thing until it gets above here. If it gets above here, it might move up, but this coin looks like absolute ass. Why would you trade this? I hate it, and I'm upset that you even made me look at it. I'm just kidding. But yeah, this looks like garbage. Do not buy this coin. XRM. I think you mean XMR. Maybe it's my dyslexia. Right? Why trade Vertcoin when you can trade a coin that looks like this? Right? If you bought this coin back in April, you're up, right? You're not just waiting to sell. This looks pretty good to me. Again, very much clearly in an uptrend. Right? So it's just a matter of how do you get involved in this thing? I think this is interesting here as an SR flip, right? This looks good. This looks like it's about to just fucking make a leg up right now, right? Ran that low. So this looks pretty good to me. I think, buy the dip. I don't know exactly where the setup is. There's nothing jumping out at me right now. I guess you could argue that this is the setup, right? Or if this rejects, right? Like if this is like a bear flag and it pulls back to here, you long it in here. But this looks pretty good. I think this looks bullish. Just a matter of waiting for the right opportunity. I wouldn't long it here. I'd wait for it to get through here, or if this move breaks down, long it on a pullback, right? Pull your fib, right into the sweet spot, right into this previous consolidation. This is where you long, right? If this breaks down. Okay. Link. The fact that so many people are in Link makes me think that it's not going to go up. So many people are in this fucking coin, right? No coin has fucking trended this bullishly against Bitcoin for this long. So I wouldn't be surprised if Link is done its market cycle and is going to have a bigger retrace. I think there's a ton of bag holders. A bunch of people are holding this coin, and I wouldn't be surprised if this thing trades lower, right? It doesn't have to cycle with other coins. This thing's been bullish for years. This is I've covered Link several times. Nothing's changed, right? This is a range. This is your key level here, right? And then this swing high. If we get above here, we'll go into price discovery. If we stay below here, I think we're probably going back to $8. So if it cannot reclaim this, 15 to 1650 level area, I think it's going to $8. There's just so many bag holders in this coin. Not even just bag holders. There's just so many people in this coin. Right? So it's in an uptrend, right? It's in a mega uptrend. So this is kind of the area to watch, right? just like this is the resistance there, this is kind of a lower time frame fractal of the exact same thing, right? Needs to reclaim here to go up. You know, maybe this is just a big old fucking pennant. I don't know. But needs to reclaim this area to go higher. Otherwise, I think it goes back to $8. So, XLM. So this looks exactly like Ripple to me. Right? Big old pump right into resistance. Took out all the previous market structure levels here. Here's your SR flip that you want to watch. Right? So I think that's pretty cut and dry for this coin. Right? As long as it holds this area, I think it will go back to here, and then above here it can continue higher.
I didn't get
if
that.
it loses, shut up Siri, you stupid bitch. Pardon my French. If it loses this, I think it will go much lower and retrace most of this pump back in the 10-cent region. But I think for now, no clear trade for me here. You could argue that this would be kind of, you know, this is your confirmation trade. This is your kind of earlier trade. Watching this area here. And then again, if it loses this swing low, loses this gray box, it's going to drop hard. But yeah, very similar price action to XRP. Okay. What is your win-loss ratio? For trading Forex, I'm somewhere in like the 40 to 45% range for my win-loss ratio. For trading crypto, I'm a little bit higher. I'm just over 50%. But that is on average risk reward of 2.5R is usually my main goal. So I'm making money, right? If your win-loss ratio is you win only 40% of your trades and you're aiming for 1 to 1R, you're going to lose money, right? That's the value of asymmetric risk reward. Check lend and tell me same. It won't go up. Can you see chart before it became AVE? AVE once looked like that, but it's 1 in 5,000 coins. Yeah, but you can never say never on any coin. It's just super low probability. Stop saying never. Oh yeah, I would never say never when it comes to liquid shitcoins. Speaking absolutes is dangerous. DXY is approaching monthly support, making weekly bullish divergence. So this is something that I've been preaching on forever. If you watch my Metals with Mainstream, I've been talking about this. I'm one of the very few people that was talking about the dollar and its correlation to crypto, and now everyone seems to be talking about it. So I'll take fucking credit for that. I don't give a shit. If this can find support here, right? This is monthly. Okay, this is monthly support here. And we've been just selling hard for most of the year, right? If we get a bounce here, even if it's only to here, that will cause a pullback in crypto, right? So I am of the mindset that we don't just crack this monthly level on a first attempt. I actually think there's a very good chance, right, that this is a temporary bottom. And this could go all the way up here and then still look like shit, high time frame, right? But this leg from here to here would cause a major pullback in crypto and in metals. So that is something I'm absolutely watching. My man wants to talk about divergences. Let's see, is this the weekly bullish divergence you're talking about here? Because that's a higher low from there to there. And that's a lower low, I believe. So that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about the weekly. So yeah, this would be the weekly bullish divergence, right? So there's a lower low here, but there's a higher low here on the RSI. So that is, again, this isn't enough to make a trade, but confluent with the monthly support, now you're building some shit, right? Zoom in. Where's confirmation here? Confirmation, right, is we regain this level here, right? If we do one of these, this is going to get a strong relief bounce. So watch this area here on dollar. Watch that area there. Bro, I would love it if you look at SHR. So much bullshit paid shilling on Twitter and the chart looks average. SHR. I would say the chart looks worse than average. The chart looks terrible. On no time frames does this look good. Yeah, so whoever is shilling this coin is getting paid to do it, right? Because this just is on the precipice of making a lower low. So this does not look good. So whoever's shilling this, shame on you. It looks like dog shit. SRM would be interesting to see. There's your level. Yeah. So, not complete dog shit, right? But into resistance, but forming kind of an uptrend, right? So, once this breaks, it will run. Like this is one of those ones that I think probably does like one of these, right? And then that's probably the path for something like this. Maybe it just goes from here, right? But we've got 1, 2, 3 tests of the level already. So I don't expect this roof to hold, and it's making higher lows, right? Higher lows, multiple taps at resistance. I do think it will break up eventually. And when it does, right, this is where it's going. So it could be a very nice trade coming in here, right? That's 30% from there to there. So this looks pretty good. Tell me how to tell the difference between a deviation and a market structure break from a key swing low or swing high. So if you have a level here, right, and you have a swing low form, if price does this and then rejects, that's a market structure break, right? Close below, usually the retrace will reject. A deviation is going to occur when you have this, right? It closes below, but then it reclaims the low. This is now a deviation. So that's the difference. It's all about the reaction. It's the exact same thing as in a range, right? So if I have a range and we're trading here, boom, 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 we come up to the range high, we reject, and we come up. This looks like a range breakout, right? And if it comes back here, it retests the breakout and it holds, you now know that that was a market structure shift. You now look to long, right? If it comes here and then goes into the range, right? Now this is a deviation and you're looking to short, and that's your risk. That's how you tell the difference. Getting started into trading, looking for a starter path. What did you do when starting out? Any reading specific to research? Check out Crypto Cred's videos on YouTube. Check out my videos. Check out the Inner Circle Traders videos. Join up a good paid service like Trader SZ. That's a good paid service. Tom Dante. That's a good paid service. Those people will actually teach you how to trade. You can learn how to trade for free. If you're willing to do the work, put in the chart time, you can. If you're going to join a paid group, make sure it's one that is that has value. And that can just kind of help condense things for you, concentrate all that information, maybe help you learn a little bit faster, but you can learn for free. Who boy has more data for RSR? Oh, there you go. Okay. I don't even remember what I said about this coin. I already forgot. But again, right, just real quick. There's your rejection. Right? Here's support. Reclaim this level. We'll go higher. He's in trading. He's just married to his bag, bro. Easy F. Only a few months old, but what do you think so far? Similar to whatever coin I just drew, but this isn't quite in an uptrend yet. Right? So there's your kind of cap on price. right? It needs to get above here. If it can get above here, it'll go to there. And that looks like a pretty big move. That's, you know, almost 20%. So it needs to get above here though. Would like to see some bullishness start forming here on like the H4. Not my favorite chart, but not as bad as some of the other ones that have been suggested. I think that's a pretty good bias level right there. If price trades close to but doesn't actually touch the order block, do you still consider it tradable? I find that these setups tend to have lower probability of success. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a level of discretion in your trading, right? If it doesn't, it's not always, I always talk about this, right? Like you want this to be an SR flip. This is an SR flip. This is also an SR flip, right? And this is an SR flip. It's not always going to give you the picture perfect test, right, that you want. So there's got to be a level of discretion. So sometimes I'll enter slightly before the order block. Sometimes if my orders are right at the order block, I miss the trade, right? And that happens. But I find more often than not, it will come and test that level, right? Like if you have an order block here, sometimes what happens is it'll do this, you'll long it, and then it will do this, right? And that was just engineered liquidity. But yeah, there's a little bit of discretion involved. It's not always going to be perfect. All right, I'm going to start wrapping this up, guys, here. This has been another just absolute mammothly long video. Your work's so clean. Congrats. Thank you, Daniel. Ryan Milken says, stimulus bill passes, DXY shits the bed. Very well could happen. I'm not looking to just be, you know, straight bullish on DXY. I want to see it show some bullish price action first. At your place is like the GTA game, police sirens all the time in the background. Good night. Yes, I know. I live downtown, so that's part of the allure. Thanks, Frankie, for tuning in. Can you please look at CGC? CGC. Canopy. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a little bit of a boom in weed stocks going on, right? Just be careful, right? Because this is an entire market cycle, but this looks pretty good. Again, right? Clear this level, and we'll see another leg to here. Reject from this level, and we'll probably come back down to here. Actually, no, I changed my mind. We'll come to here. Right, so clear that level there. Otherwise, look for a long here potentially. But yeah, it's starting to look like potentially good, right? This could finally be a big old higher low that's formed here. What do you think of perp? Am I missing something here? I don't know what that chart is. Yeah, what do you think? I mean, if it's backed by Three Arrows Capital, Alameda, and Binance, there's a good chance he'll probably pump. So, they're smart guys. UBT, Unibright. Been on fire. You're goddamn right it has. Looks pretty good, man. Looks like that's a pretty clear uptrend if you ask me. Looks like it's just breaking high now. A lot of wicks, which I hate. That drives me nuts. But that looks like it's pretty bullish to me. Closing through there looks super bullish. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Isn't a deviation just a market structure break? You going to short a higher low? Maybe a deviation works better in a range. It's the exact same, bro. Maybe this is a range level. All I'm saying is if it's a deviation, right? Your first guess, right, when it closes like this is it's a market structure break. It's a market structure break first. If it regains the level, now it's a deviation. If it rejects, it was a market structure break. So your first bet, right, is you short here. But then if it continues up, you get stopped out. Now it's a deviation. Now you can long it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to chart something that's not on TradingView, bro. I'm sorry. Can you take a look at AXS? AXS. Not a ton to go on, right? But you know, looks okay. Looks okay. I don't hate this. Right? Again, uptrend, banging into resistance multiple times, right? Multiple tests. 1, 2, 3. Good chance this probably breaks out soon. So I don't hate it. All right. If BTC goes to 3K again, do you think it's game over for it? People won't take it seriously anymore because it's too volatile. Absolutely not. I don't think it goes to 3K again, by the way. But I don't think BTC is over. It went to 3K and then to 20K in 8 months, right? All right, let's see what happens here on the old Bitcoin. That 19,500 level, you know, kind of seems to be key. Needs to regain that level there for sure, Bitcoin. Right? And this was my order block here on the daily. So we'll see. Looks okay still, but needs to break out. Let's see how the weekly close was good. So I still think this is okay, but needs to break out. Needs to break out. Learned a lot. You're welcome. My 10-year-old daughter is watching the last few minutes. She says, watching your eyes move around saying, he's got a lot of screens. She is correct. I have 3 screens. That's why I'm so profitable. Thanks, man. Very good live stream. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor. Sign up to Prime using the link in the description. They're the ones who are hooking it up for me so I can do these for you completely for free. I really enjoy doing them. So show them some love. That would help me out a lot. And yeah, I'll be back again with another video this week. Thank you guys for tuning in on your Sunday. Hope everyone has a good start to the week. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right.